All right, so what is up? I am Ross from Spiritual Phoenix Studios, and this is the new moon in Virgo ceremony. We're going to do a little bit of a discussion about the moon, and then we're going to talk about a couple tarot cards that are relevant to this time period, and then we're going to close with a little bit of a guided meditation and intention setting process that you can carry on up until the full moon when we'll be doing a release ceremony, right? So there's not a lot of frills. We're just going to get right into it. So this is the new moon in Virgo, and it is about attention towards detail is on the increase with a tendency to fault finding cleanliness and neatness. It's a good time to undertake routine, painstaking work and to search for and correct errors. Your body may be more intolerant of low grade food and harmful substances, and this is a good day to begin a diet. So right now it's like a good period for self-reflection, transformation, integrating experiences, and really processing what you've experienced in the past year. If you think about it, this is kind of the end of summer. It's right before fall begins. And fall is when you harvest everything. So it's kind of a very logical energy to be expressing right now. So the tarot cards that are associated with this time period, one of them is the Magician. And this is about power, skill, construction, and creating change. And dependent upon this quote unquote seeds that you've planted in the spring, you're going to be harvesting those energies now. If you're in the other part of the world, I'm sure you can find an appropriate metaphor. I should have thought of that a little bit more cleverly. Skill is also important here. Skill would always be important seasonally, but if you think about it in terms of focus and things like that, skill is incredibly important. Construction, this is showing that you're building something meaningful, like creating or starting a process of developing something that's important. And then creating change is the other aspect of the Magician, right? That's like the whole concept of magic, creating change in consciousness or in the material world in conformity with will. The other card that's associated with this time period obviously would be the Hermit, because the Hermit is representing the sign Virgo, and this is about self-reflection. So this is, again, a good period to go in, reflect on kind of what's transpired over the year, what were your major lessons, and how can you integrate all of that experience and move forward. Introspection, kind of same energy. Healing, this is a good time to let go of stuff, like even though it's about setting the intention and bringing things in, it's a time of looking at what's really important, right? And then time alone. If we've kind of lived a full year, we might be a little bit burnt out by people. And one of the things that not a lot of us actually get to do is spend a period of time alone. Ironically enough, I'm actually taking a couple days to myself next week, alone in a cabin. It's going to be amazing. So moving on, though, we got Nine of Pentacles coming up next. This is about comfort, accomplishments, prosperity, and gratitude. So nines are all linked with the Hermit in some sense. So they're the result of being alone and being able to reflect or work on things, right? So Nine of Pentacles is kind of this achievement of things. And some people will look at it as the material fulfillment of stuff that can come with like focused dedication, but it's also this sense of security in the material world that I don't think is fully expressed in a lot of people's interpretation of it. There's also comfort, accomplishments, prosperity, gratitude. So nines are also about fulfillment, right? Or completion of something, like the end of a process or the culmination of a process. And this is like the fulfillment of wealth. Then we move on to 10 of Pentacles. Tens are about like the absolute finality, or like leveling up to the next stage of everything, right? And ironically enough, if you look at the numerology of it, a 10 would be kind of like the energy of the Magician and the Fool coming together, or it would be associated with the Wheel of Fortune. And 10 of Pentacles in particular is about like alliance. So like teaming up with other people, expanding your circle or expanding your group. Stability, it's reaching a stable ground on the next tier of your personal development or your business. Given that Pentacles are about the material world, I would say this is reaching a new tier in kind of career, home, all of those things, right? Then we move on to inheritance. Inheritance doesn't necessarily have to be physical either, right? Even though it's coming up in this sense, there is ancestral memory that we're kind of passed down, and it, like all sorts of things that are encoded within us that can be unlocked if we do the necessary work. There's also wealth. And one of the ways that I want to look at wealth or frame wealth for any of the projects that I'm working on is having the necessary resources and to have rest and happiness, right? I think that that's actual wealth. Like, you don't need to have a shit ton of money. You basically just need to be able to work on what you're passionate about and have your basic needs met and a little bit extra for rainy days or for when shit happens. And shit will inevitably happen at some point. It always does. That's life. We move on to King of Pentacles is another card associated with this time period. This is about being disciplined. And if you look at the energy of everything else that has come up, it makes sense, right? All of these cards are kind of related in that energy of focusing your intent and focusing your purpose on one definite chief aim and manifesting that into the fullest expression of what it can be. And I think that that's an incredibly important way to approach everything. And there's also controlling. This is one of the negative aspects of this, right? Sometimes we become so focused and intent on achieving a goal that we think it has to happen our way. And if it doesn't happen our way, it won't happen anyway at all. And I am incredibly guilty of this. This is where most of my work actually is right now. Saying, universe, take the wheel, and stepping back from everything. I am not quite there yet. I actively am working on it. I have confidence that I will get it. But anyhow, King of Pentacles is also about being powerful, right? And I was really thinking about this earlier. The true test of any magician is their ability to wield power intelligently and to use it in a way that can uplift other people, right? And also, the other true extent of power is not exercising power unless it's absolutely necessary. And in most circumstances, it's not. But sometimes a little bit of juice on a situation can help, right? Anyhow, moving right along. And then also enterprising. Enterprising in this sense, I know that it's talking about wealth, but it's also seeing opportunity in every situation. And this is some of the other work that I'm doing, is focusing on the good in other people, the good in situations that I'm experiencing, like the good all around, right? And easier said than done at times, but it's also been incredibly healing and potent and beautiful work that I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to do. But look for the opportunity, and then as you look for the opportunities and the good in people, you will actually see opportunities that bring you money. Like, operate on the principle, this is going to be like a little bit of like business knowledge mixed in with this. Operate on the principle that Gary Vaynerchuk mentions in the thank you economy, which is genuinely, sincerely be appreciative of everybody that you're engaging with and be like interested in their lives and what's going on with them. And I've been becoming more curious about people, and the more that I do that, the more excited I actually am about the people that I'm engaging with and kind of what I'm seeing them put out. And then additionally, it hasn't translated into sales yet, but it's like not the point, because it's rewarding just to have that experience in and of itself. So it's kind of a beautiful process. Anyhow, all of that said, I want to move into the ritual that we're going to do. This is a little bit of some of the meditation practices that I use mixed in with some of the visualization stuff that I do. And eventually I think I'm going to add some music and some sound effects to these, because I have that ability and I can play it live. And when that happens, I would suggest that you have headphones. I'm not going to do it this time because I'm still getting set up into this new space and this new format. And eventually these are going to be locked behind the wall of my premium membership. There's going to be other content that I'm going to be creating. But for now, while I'm building up viewership on it, a membership of it, might as well put the fruits out there for free, right? All of that said, we are going to start. If you're sitting in a chair, you can sit in a chair, you can lay down. I would say do whatever is comfortable. If you're sitting in a chair, though, put your feet flat on the ground and put your back straight up in the chair, right? Like, have good posture. And then you're going to shut your eyes. And with your eyes shut, I want you to slowly take a deep breath in through your nose. And then slowly exhale out of your mouth. And again, breathe in through the nose. Hold it now for 1 second, 2 seconds, breathe out. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. And I want you to take stock of how you feel in this moment right now. Kind of what's going on in your body, in your mind. Is there any ideas or thoughts that you're focusing on too much? Is there anything that needs attention? Any part of your body sore? Just dial that in for a second. And I would also suggest that now that we're kind of taking stock of everything, adjust yourself so that you're comfortable, so that you're able to relax and feel at ease, right? And we're going to do a body scan, and we're going to start with the right hand thumb. And you're going to bring this part of the body into attention and into awareness, visualize it in your mind, and then we'll just move through the rest of them pretty quickly, right? So right hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, little finger, palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, bicep, armpit, side, hip, thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. The whole right side of the body, the whole right side of the body. Left hand thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, bicep, armpit, side, hip, thigh, kneecap, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, little toe. The whole left side of the body, the whole left side of the body. Right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head, forehead, right eye, left eye, nose, lips, teeth, tongue, chin, neck, right collarbone, left collarbone, heart, upper abdomen, lower abdomen, the whole body, the whole body. Now, I want you to take several deep breaths and just relax. Begin to notice the sounds outside of the room that you're in and bring them to awareness, but don't try to name what they are. Just observe them. And slowly bring your attention in and listen to the sounds that you hear within the room. And then slowly bring your awareness in, and on the inhale, feel the breath enter your nostrils. And on the exhale, feel your breath leaving your nostrils. Do that for several more breaths and just observe. And now that you're nice and calm, I'd like you to think of somebody that you can radiate goodwill towards. And it can be somebody in your life that you know who's going through a tough time, somebody that you encountered today who is incredibly angry and maybe just needs some good juju sent their way. Or you can send it to a total stranger who's just somebody who needs a hope shot that doesn't even know it yet, right? I don't know if you knew this, but you can do random acts of goodwill like that, just sending nameless people prayers. But send out this good energy and visually feel the empathy and compassion for the other person for whatever they're going through. And not that you have to necessarily understand their exact circumstances, but human suffering is relative. We have this really abstract and weird concept that some suffering is more than others, but all suffering is relative to experience. So just send some goodwill. And now that you're sending it out and you're feeling that energy, the universe likes to make sure that things are balanced. So you're going to receive the same type of charge back. And just feel that warmth, love, and compassion sent unconditionally from the universe, or even from me to you, however you need to visualize it in your own belief structure. And think of this energy as kind of a charge. And this charge is going to energize an intention that you're setting that you're going to carry forward with you up until the full moon. And for this intention, it's best to have it be focused, have it be concise, and have it be somewhat poetic. You don't want it to be one of these cheesy affirmations that you read on Instagram. Think of something that feels potent to you. Think of something that when you say it in your mind or when you say it out loud feels powerful. For me, I think that my phrase is going to be witnessing evolution, because the world is always in a constant state of evolution and things are always progressing. Things may not always be progressing the way that we want to, but that's not necessarily our business, right? Part of the process of becoming powerful is learning to find the harmony and the beauty and the natural order of the cycle, right? And understanding that while you can adapt and control everything, that it's not necessarily the purpose, because restraint is its own power. That's why that is important to me. But for you in particular, think of your own short phrase that you would like to set, generating abundance, charged words, powerful words. Think of that phrase, and then again, think of the kindness that you sent out, the kindness that you received back in. And then to charge this even further, I want you to radiate gratitude for two different things. Gratitude for everything that you currently have, because I promise you, there is a lot to be grateful for in your current circumstances. And the more that you focus on your blessings, the more they begin to blossom. And the other thing that I want you to focus on gratitude, or focus on gratitude with, is the thing that you are setting your intention for, the intention that you've just set to bring into effect for the full moon, the one that you will be nurturing between now and the full moon. And with that in mind, I'd like you to just surrender to whatever you believe in out there and have some sense of trust that the things that you want will work out without you having to put in as much effort as you may assume. Because at times we can overpower and block our own blessings by trying to force things when we need, again, restraint and discipline, and at times rest. So as we begin to close out this ritual and slowly come back to reality, I'd like you to begin to wiggle your thumbs. Keep your eyes closed for this if they're still closed, but wiggle your thumbs and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes and wiggle your hands. jiggle your legs and move your shoulders a little bit, right? Slowly rub your palms together and build up some heat from the friction. Keep your eyes closed. Put your palms over your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out. Open your eyes. Carry that intention with you for the new moon. And going forward, we're going to have maybe a couple more props in these things. I'm still trying to get everything set up. And eventually these will be just part of the membership. There might be snippets that I share in review, but we'll see. And yeah, thanks for checking